It's your boy, Jeff Jones.
You know me, the upset specialist, my Los Angeles Lakers fan, Thomas Boykin.
And this is 234 Sports Talk. Let's talk
Yes,
about
sir.
it. Let's talk
Let's get
about it.
at it.
Boy, Mike Jones is not with us tonight. He'll be with us the next time, though.
Absolutely.
Lot of playoff, lot of playoff things to talk about. Especially, we want to start. Let's start with the Western Conference. The game one, Western Conference. The Denver Nuggets put in work. The Lakers tried to bring it back, got it down to three, got it close, but just couldn't finish. Anthony Davis put in, he 40 pieced them, wasn't enough. But let's talk about my man Jokic. My man Jokic put in a triple double, 34 points, 21 rebounds, and 14 assists. Murray was killing them with the mid range. And they won the game 132 to 126. As you watched that game, what did you think about that game between the Lakers and the Nuggets?
I'll say this. My Lakers showed a lot of heart because anybody else get down by 20 would have got discouraged, would have got disheartened, would have just flat threw the towel in. But not my Lakers. They decided, you know what? We had the fill out process. Now it's time to play ball. And they played ball the fourth quarter and they went to work. We had opportunities. We had opportunities where we should have closed it and should have took the lead and won this game. But kudos to the Denver Nuggets. Jokic had a monster game, but what everybody's sleeping on is so did AD. So, because AD went for 40, so and LeBron went for like 23, 24.
26. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, and even Reeves even lit him up a little bit. So, I mean, they got good supporting cast. The name of the game of this game two is going to be you can't get down by 20. You can't. There's you're writing certain death if you get down by 20 early again. You're writing death. And I don't want to see them. I would like to see them walk out of here with if they start game two where they ended game one, we should be fine. But if they don't, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be an uphill fight all night. But during this playoff run, you haven't really seen LeBron get loose yet. It's just been AD and, LeBron will give you 25, 26 on a regular. A couple of dimes, a couple of rebounds, a couple of steals. But the supporting cast got to step up big time. The rest of the supporting cast got to step up big time. But if the Nuggets play anything like they played the first three quarters of that game, we're in trouble because they absolutely shot lights out for three quarters. I mean, it was ridiculous how the shooting percentages for three quarters was through the roof. And you expect that at home, but man, how do you beat that? How do you beat that? But kudos to them. Great game. We'll be back. We'll reload. We'll reload for game two and we'll see what happens. And I think we might pull off a nail biter and steal game two.
Well, they feel like they had something. Coach Ham made some adjustments, put
Absolutely.
Hachimura on my guy Joker, and they talked about the great defense he played on the Joker. You think that'll roll over in the game too? You think that Joker will figure it out? You think that they'll come up with a plan?
I think we'll see what happens. I think Rui came in after Jokic might have taken his foot off the gas. But he didn't get a chance to play Jokic when Jokic was moving and grooving and was pushing people around and not taking anything from AD, but there was nothing even AD could do with him. So if AD ain't doing nothing when he presents a longer, taller challenge, and now you're going to put a guy 2 inches shorter, I don't know about that.
They got all rebounded by the Denver Nuggets, 47-30.
You should have seen the rebound totals for the first quarter.
Oh yeah, it was sick.
They got out rebounded the first quarter, 22-3.
Denver looked real dominant, and you know, like I said, good. I mean, my hat is off to the Lakers too, just for staying, you know, keeping it poised and staying in the game. Because a lot of teams would have given up when, you know, they looked at the score and they down 21, and these guys are just shooting lights out. Everything they were putting up was just going in, and they would have just given up. But the Lakers, they stuck with it, and I was really impressed by the Lakers, that run that they made to get it down to 3. But I think that if the Lakers lose this game tonight, they might be in big trouble, B.
The one thing I will hang my hat on with my Lakers is that we haven't lost at home in the playoffs at all. We're still undefeated at home. So we can go home and theoretically even this thing up, make it a home series. Whoever wins at home wins. But if it comes down to game 7, LA's going to have to prove that they can beat Denver in Denver. That's going to be the ultimate test. Can they beat Denver in Denver?
And both teams did really good in the paint. I mean, Denver 50, LA 48 points in the paint. They did really good in the paint. I think, you know, you probably see more of that tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I guarantee you, Darwin Ham's. If I'm Darwin Ham, I might even have LeBron in the post tonight just to have a little more presence in the post with LeBron. Save some of his legs from bringing the ball up and doing other things, just have him having worked with his back to the basket and grind. I think he can handle that.
Now I noticed they rested him a lot in that game. If you recall, do you think that you know, they played a lot of games, you know, with the play in, and you know, now they're here? You think that is affecting LeBron?
I think the what's getting ready to affect LeBron is going to be the no rest in between games. Is a day rest in between games. That's going to affect LeBron, I think, a little bit. But I think LeBron also too has to raise his physical IQ. Understand game time situations. Like the end of that game in the fourth quarter, there was an opportunity for the Lakers to cut it to 1 or 2. And he decided to shoot a 3 instead of driving the ball inside with like 45 seconds left in the game. I'm like, why are you shooting a 3? You're bailing them out and you're giving them a chance to move up. When you shoot a shot like that, when you can actually make this a free throw line thing, which you have a better shot at the free throw line than you do jacking a 3. But I mean, I understand what the logic was, but for me at that moment, I would have drove the ball instead of shoot a 3. But this is why I'm here. So, but like I said, I give my hats off to them because they did come back and they did scrap their way back into the game.
So what do you think? Prediction on this? You do you believe this is going 7? This series is going 7?
Absolutely, this series is going 7 games. Absolutely, the series is going 7 games.
You think your Lakers gonna pull this off in 7?
Like I said, they got to show me signs that they can beat Denver in Denver. Right now, they're not showing me they can beat Denver in Denver.
Right.
Because if it comes down to it in a game 7, you're going to have to beat Denver in Denver to go to the NBA Finals. You're going to have to beat Denver in Denver at least once.
Well, the Lakers definitely are surprising a lot of people. I mean, especially when you look at earlier in the season, the things that they went through earlier in the season. And man, I'm telling you, and I'll be the first to say it. I was really hard on Rob Pelinka, the GM.
Yeah.
I really, thought that he had made some bad moves, but he was able to adjust. And now, man, the Lakers got a serious team out there, and man, I'm telling you, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. But we'll
I'll
see
tell
what
you what,
happens.
the moves that they made were impressive offensively and defensively. It was impressive. So kudos to Rob for pulling that off.
All right, on the flip side, let's turn our attention to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Heat snuck one last night in Boston, beating the Celtics 123 to 116. Now, as I watched that game, at first I thought it could go either way. It was a little close. And then all of a sudden, man, here come the Heat. And here comes who? Playoff Jimmy. Playoff Jimmy did what he did against my Bucks. And he just went to work on those guys. Now, as you looked at that game last night, what did you pick up from that? Do you feel as if Miami is going to surprise Boston and maybe sneak this series? Or do you feel like maybe Boston can get themselves together and try to pull it together?
I think Boston's in trouble because if you look at what what Boston normally hangs their hat on, Boston normally lays their hat on defense. Defensively, they did not look good last night. They did not look good at all defensively last night. The scoreboard indicated you've never seen a Boston Celtics team give up 120 points. Nah, that's especially when they're on point and playing their defense like they play their defense. 120 points shouldn't have. So I think the bottom line, the Miami Heat just outworked Boston. They
That
were a little more scrappy. They went after more loose balls. They were more aggressive on the offensive end. They closed out on defense. You can't draw up a better game plan from Spoelstra. You can't.
that third quarter, they dropped 46 points. 46. Insane. And I was shocked at Boston when you talked about their defense. And I was shocked that they dropped 46 points on those guys. I mean, and it was coming from everybody. I mean, everybody was getting involved. Lowry, look at we hadn't seen Lowry sighting since Toronto, really. But Lowry even got in there and Lowry put in work on those guys last night. He finished with 15.
Yeah, they have 4 guys finished with 15.
So what does Boston have to do in the next game? You think they have to get back to playing, the type of defense that they known for?
That's what they're going to have to do because Miami done already showed you they can score points, and they can score points in bunches. You got to do something defensively to slow that down. And we're not even going to add. They're not even adding Kevin Love in the mix yet. And I'm not a real big Kevin Love fan, but he does have the effect of stepping out and shooting a 3 and making some big shots in the post. So that's another thing. And I think your boy disappeared that last night too. You didn't hear nothing really from Al Horford.
That's who I feel has to get involved, more involved. He's been kind of missing in action.
Yeah,
He only had 7 points.
yeah,
You look at Tatum. Tatum had 30, and a lot of times Tatum will play, and it doesn't seem that he has that many points, but he had 30 points. Like as I watched that game, I didn't think Tatum had that many points. But
Well,
then
the
they
thing
they have to. What is that?
The thing is, you scored 30 points, but how many shots did you take to get 30 points?
I agree there. And then you have Brown, you know, the 1-2 punch there. Brogdon put in 19. Brown put in 22. But when you look at it on the flip side, I was really impressed with Bam Adebayo, 20 points. Bam Adebayo looked like the old Bam Adebayo.
I think Miami has the mindset of they got blood. They smell blood in the water right now because you got to figure going back to last year, they came within a shot of sending Boston home last year. So they're figuring it's our time. We're going to put Boston away as fast as we can put them away. Whatever we can do to get 4 wins, we're going to do to get 4 wins. And they came out and put it in play. Now Boston has to respond. If they don't respond, they're in trouble. If you go down 2-0 at home, you go and lose 2 home games, you're in trouble. And Miami is playing well enough to close you out in 2 games in Miami. So keep your eyes open on that one.
When I looked at the game last night, I said, man, here we go again. Mama, there goes that man, as Mark Jackson would say, talking about Butler.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler. Let me tell you something. As I watched Jimmy Butler when the series against the Bucks, you know, I thought, okay, you know, I'm waiting on the Bucks to respond. I'm waiting on, you know, they had that game where they came out and they blew them out the water when Giannis went out. They responded, and I'm really like just waiting on the Bucks to just turn this thing around. But it just seemed like Jimmy Butler knows how to dominate a game. And I feel like you feel. I think that Boston is in trouble. I think that Miami came out and they snuck this one in. And I think the next game is gonna be a problem for them guys. It's gonna be a problem for Boston.
Yeah, I think Miami poses a problem for them. They got, as Tim Hardaway says on the show this morning, they got to bring their hard hat to work today because they're packing a lunch and they're coming for the long haul. So if you're not ready, you'll be gone fishing quick.
Yeah, we're gonna see what happens. I tell you what, they mess around and go down 0-2.
Yeah, they go
It's
down
over.
0-2, it's a problem.
It's over.
Yeah, it pretty much. That's what I say too. If they go down 0-2, it's done.
And I think that these Miami, you know, everybody looks at that AC. You know, that was all they talked about when they played the Bucks, the eighth seed. You know, but you can't look at that eighth seed where Miami is concerned because Miami is better than an eighth seed. This team, I mean, you know, Miami, even the year before, Miami had their issues and then they turned it on and but then even this year, you know, same thing. They had their ups and downs, but then when they got into the playoffs, they turned into a different animal.
They make that run, and that's coaching.
That's great coaching.
Spoelstra has them guys ready to play.
And I feel like he's one of the best coaches in the game. Very rarely do you see him get out coached.
Yeah, very, very,
very rarely.
Very, very rarely.
Well, we'll see what happens. Well, let's turn our attention to Ja Morant. Once again, is in the news. Ja Morant, there's another video surfaced. Ja Morant supposedly riding in the car with a friend, and he was flashing the gun again on IG Live, and now Ja is back in trouble again. It's been suspended by the Memphis Grizzlies, and the commissioner is shocked. Commissioner Adam Silver, and I'm assuming that some heavy action is about to take place. What do you think about this situation?
To be honest, I would not be shocked if he suspended him for the whole season next season. I would not be shocked. Because number one, has been told on many talk shows before, you sat down with Adam Silver looked him in the eye and said, yes, I'm going to try to fix the problem. Yes, I know I have a problem. I'm going to do everything I have to. I'm going to do everything I can to fix the problem. And Adam Silver respected that, and you got a light slap on the wrist. And then you turn around and do the little kid thing, which in my younger days when I did wrong, yeah, I got disciplined for it, but I guarantee you I didn't do the same thing twice. But this guy here comes back and does the same thing twice, which tells me your word means nothing. What you told me was just blowing smoke. So now I'm going to blow smoke. I mean, you basically just gave me carte blanche to be, you know what? Since you don't care about you, I'm not going to care about you either. Bye. Get it together. You got a season to turn it around because now you're not going to play basketball in this league until you get it right. Not the little 5 or 6 games that you got this time. This time you're going to sit a minute to think about it. And I know this got to go through the league protocols and all that stuff because I know we got to see what the maximum that they can do the job versus, league protocol. But I would not be surprised if Adam Silver tries to suspend him for the season. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, then you have on the flip side. I mean, let's just look at this from all angles, Tom. You have some that are saying that no discipline should come down. I mean, he has a right to bear, a firearm. There's some that's saying that. On the flip side, now I was even talking with my wife the other day about this, and she had me look at it from another angle. I mean, really, what law did he break? I mean, I know the league. You got your superstars. I'm just looking at it from another angle. Just looking at it
Absolutely.
from another angle. We talked
Absolutely.
about it, but this is just what people are saying. What law did he break? He has the right to bear a firearm. He didn't, commit a crime with it. Why should he be disciplined? Do you
The,
think it's more because of the image of the NBA that,
it's the
this is even
brand.
being thought about
It's the brand.
to protect the brand? So that's pretty much what it all comes down to in a
It's
nutshell.
it's the brand. As an NBA player, think about this. You're getting paid millions of dollars in my brand. I got an image to uphold with my brand. I'm giving you the parameters to work that image in my brand. You go break the parameters that I set for the image of my brand, it's got to be repercussions behind it because I told you the parameters up front. If I'm telling you, don't wave a gun, don't go do drugs, don't get drunk, don't go speeding, don't go kill nobody, don't go Rambo. Dude, it's giving you the blueprint of this is what I'm not supposed to do. If you choose to do it, you choose to deal with the repercussions behind it. Now you're going to have to deal with the repercussions behind it. I get the fact that, you got the right to bear arms. I get that. Every state has its laws, every place is different. Now, with him waving a gun in a car, that's to me is irresponsible and immature. You got a child at home with your girlfriend or whoever, whatever your situation is. What would you do? Ask him this. What would you do if that was your child in that situation? If that's your child, what would you do? Because you got to think about it now. If you got children, you got to think about it in that term. Because really, if my kid comes up and sees this, my kid's going to be like, okay, my dad condones this, so I'm going to run around and do it. Then what are you gonna say? Because he's following your lead. So it to me, this is all about the image of the brand. And I get it. The parameters have been set. It's too much. The NBA has come a long way from Malice in the Palace and the rugged ways and the thuggish ways that everybody thought the NBA was. They're trying to clean that act up. So that part of the deal is done. He's going to have to deal with what he gets.
You know, when I heard about this, I said, "Oh man, not again." And you know, it kind of reminds me of when I remember one time when I was a young boy, my grandmother that's when they had the little toaster ovens, and well, they told me don't touch it. I seen the thing glowing and everything. Said don't touch that. That's hot. And
Bingo.
I went and touched that
Bingo.
thing anyways, and I found
I'm
out the
bad. I can
hard
touch
way.
it.
And I found out the hard way. And I feel, I thought about that because with Ja's been told, and Ja did it again. I said, man, not again. And my thing is, who is sitting here recording him, knowing that he's already in trouble, and putting it on social media?
You saw the camera when he saw. You saw the camera when he hit when the camera hit the gun. He automatically flipped it back down.
I don't get it. I really don't, man. I mean, I can think of a lot of things. If I'm a millionaire with that kind of money, I can think of a lot of other things that I can spend my time doing, man, rather than riding in the car, man, with a gun, toting a gun. I'm just saying.
Dude, listen. You got a family at home. Spend time with them. Because during the season, you ain't gonna get no time to do that. Now you got time. Spend time with them. Quit running around acting like you a gangster. You're not a gangster. You're an NBA basketball player. Act like an NBA basketball player. There's rules that govern that. Act like an NBA player. Unless you don't want to be an NBA player, then I guarantee you Adam Silver can fix that for you.
B, the first time this went down, we talked about this, and I'm gonna talk about it again. This is for all the up and coming basketball players, up and coming athletes. This is something that you can look at and learn from it. Don't do it. You don't be like that. You know,
Facts.
we learn this at home from our parents. Watch the crowd, the company you keep. And that's the main thing. I think John's problem is the company that he keeps.
That's the other thing. You got to choose your circle carefully.
There you go. It's an old saying, I can do bad all by myself. You don't need no help to
Or,
do bad.
or your friends got to recognize your situation and be like, look, dude, nah, we can't do that because your situation is different than ours.
And I've heard that where people who had talents, they were, on their way, and friends around them said, man, we did it this way. Now, you're about to be this big star. Oh no, man, you can't do that. They wouldn't allow them to do it.
Right.
And
And
and,
that's what real friends will do for you.
you said it right there, real friends. And I think what he needs, he talked about doing some soul searching and becoming a better person. I think he needs to just really, once again, just watch the company that he keeps. Watch the company that he keeps.
The other thing is, yeah, you might do some soul searching, but it's not what you say, it's what you do. Because what you say and what you do have to match. If what you say and what you do don't match, you got a problem.
Well, we just hoping that this doesn't cost him his career because
Man,
uh,
because it very real could.
he's losing a lot of money behind these big time mistakes. Well, before we go, there's been some coaching changes, well, some
Man,
firings, and I mean, my goodness, you had the Milwaukee Bucks, you had the Suns, of course, the Toronto Raptors, and now Doc Rivers. My goodness. Did as you looked at this, especially with Doc Rivers, did you see this coming?
I didn't see this coming. Uh, a guy that gets you to 3 Eastern Conference semifinals in a row. Come on, man. You can't fire that dude because he's getting you to the brink. So there's got to be something that you can tweak to get him over the brink. Now, you're asking your franchise to start from scratch and rebuild trust with another coach. It might happen, it might not. Is it going to help your team or is it going to drag it down? We don't know. We don't know who you're going to pick as a coach. But I'll tell you this, in the names that they got in that carousel in Philly, I would not pick Mike D'Antoni. That's facts. That's facts. That would be the last coach on my list that I would pick.
Who do you think would be a good fit in Philadelphia?
There's a couple of good, I mean, who comes to mind? Mark Jackson. Because of the disciplinary part of it and what it takes to get you over the hump defensively. I think Mark Jackson will be an excellent coach at Philly. That's just me.
Okay, well, let me just throw this out there. What about the Bucks? Let's just do that. Let's go down the list.
I think your boy that left that got fired from Phoenix would fit your system perfectly. I think
Monty Williams.
Monty Williams would do you some justice. Because now you're giving Monty Williams a bona fide team that plays defense. Well, their defense has to be worked on a little bit as well, but he's a guy that understands systems and understands what you need to do to get stops and what you do to need to get points. So Monty would be a good fit for you.
Okay, so how about out in Phoenix?
Phoenix has a lot of work to do. It's not just head coaching. They just got a lot of work to do, period. You got 3 superstars out there, but you don't have a bench. You can't contend without a bench. It's been showed to you already. So what you got to do is you got to have a coach and a bench. So you got a lot of work to do. Period.
Definitely. And Detroit, their situation, you got Detroit, you got Toronto. I mean, Detroit to me, I mean, I just feel like they've been spinning circles for the last, I don't know, X amount of years.
Their last go of it was with ripping them, and they haven't been back since. And to me, Detroit's become a black hole. And they got to do something to rectify that and put Detroit back on the map. Detroit has always been a team that's been tough to play. They've always been very competitive, but as of late, Detroit is not even competitive. They're like bottom dwellers, and it's like really shocking to see Detroit fall that far. So they got their work cut out as well.
Well, B, before we go, I wanna get some predictions from you tonight. Western Conference. Who you liking tonight?
I got LA by 5.
Okay. Now game 2, Miami and Boston. Who you liking in that one?
Miami by 10.
Woo. Well,
Miami by 10.
we'll see. We'll see. It's been a real one. And
Yes, sir.
234 Sports Talk. You can catch us right here on YouTube. You can catch us on Twitter. You can catch us on TikTok. You can catch us on Instagram. And remember, it don't cost you nothing to push that button. Subscribe, like, comment. We want to hear from you. We interact with everybody that comments, whether it be good or bad. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Maybe we said something that you like. Maybe we said something you didn't like. We want to hear from you. All right, until the next time, B, it's been 234 Sports Talk. We out of here.
We out.
Peace.
Peace.